Shut up and sit down.
You are listening to the Dialed Podcast with Matt Legrand,
Sir Ian Gibson,
Lance Hepler, and Jake Von Turing. Thank you for your time and enjoy the show. That was a little soft. I'll do better next week.
You might end up dead.
You might end up dead is my middle name.
What about Jane?
I don't know her middle name.
Hi, welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I am Jake Von Turing. I'm here with Lance freaking Hepler.
Lance freaking Hepler.
In studio.
In studio with my friends.
How you
whole
feeling?
gang.
How you feeling?
I feel like dog spack. I just made up a word. My head doesn't work very well at the moment, so this should be interesting.
I'm sure we'll talk about that later, but to his right, the one and only Sir Ian Gibson.
Sir Ian Gibson, how do you do? How do you How do? do you do?
Sucky.
And last and least, Matt Legrand.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys have looked better. You've looked better. You've looked
We've
better.
all looked better.
You've all looked better, but you're here, and that's something.
What does disheveled sound like?
Yes.
This is it.
Listen to the podcast and find out.
Here we go.
We need like a smell-o-vision version of...
Smell-o-vision.
All right. Backpedal time? Who wants
Backpedal.
first, Matt Legrand?
Yeah, I've been at track meets. I was at a track meet last night. I mean, all day yesterday, and then last night for a while. It's like I think I was 8 hours at the track.
Yeah.
Because I was working and putting stuff together, working the finish line.
Yep.
I didn't see a lot of people or even see a lot of even the races, I'm like focusing on making sure the technology is working.
Yeah.
And I didn't see you there.
I was there.
I figured you were there.
They normally have it.
For reference, Jake's
Buckman.
son does all kinds of stuff there. He's a captain of the team, right?
Yeah, he has one of the many. He was doing just the triple and the long jump yesterday, so
Okay.
we were on that side of the stadium. But they
So that's why I didn't
usually
see
have
it.
it at Buckman Field, and this time they had it at Doc Harris Stadium
Doc Harris Stadium, it's usually a Carden Field.
or Carden Field. I'm sorry.
But yes,
That's what
but
I'm
correct.
talking about. But what was the driving purpose behind that? Is that like a new thing going forward, or
The driving purpose is Chris Butler, who's the head men's coach, has this huge desire to have it at the stadium because there is some value to having like better seats and coverage, and especially on a rainy day.
100%, yeah, because
And-
the facilities are much better for the spectators.
Yeah, and I think that there's also a lot of like interesting stuff about being on the stadium side of stuff where you can have music going and just have like
And
the
they
whole
did.
vibe and scoreboards and stuff like that. So cool stuff. Not that the high school is not fine. It's perfectly fine. I think that you've got a lot more spectator room and you have the ability to put on bigger races.
Mm-hmm.
So we only had 3 teams. In fact, the race that we put on before when we did like our kind of season opener was even bigger than that. I think we had 4 or 5 teams and they were big teams too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that we want to put on more races there, but it wasn't easy to put on there because you got to move all this stuff, all the equipment and stuff like that too.
Will they have to move the equipment before every meet, or will there be a home at the bigger stadium for everything to live?
They would have to move it for every meet. Is there room at the stadium for like storing stuff?
Yeah.
There is storage room at the stadium. But then it's kind of like we still need to practice on some of this equipment. And so the equipment is kind of like it's a lot of like high jump mats, pole vault mats, things like that that are hard to move. Everything else is reasonable, right? Like your starting blocks and stuff like that. Like that's easy. We have double of that stuff. We just, some of the other stuff we don't. And then even there's some tricky stuff like there's like a discus arena.
Yeah.
And that stuff is like a temporary arena. It's not permanent. And so it kind of has to be like broken down and put back up and each time. And so that's not easy stuff to store or put up or whatever. So it's a bigger setup process to do stuff at Doc Harris and it's easier at Carden Field.
How many kids are on the team?
250 basically.
Sounds like a lot of hands to make work go much quicker.
Well, we did on Sunday like requests for people to come help us move stuff.
You had how many show up?
We had, I don't know, like 3 or 4 coaches and 3 or 4 kids or something. I mean, like not
My
a
kid
ton.
was one of them. He's
Yes.
like,
well, Barrett is always really helpful, and like he just cares, and he's really like into it.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's
Yeah.
he just wants to do. He
was
wants
a little,
to help.
Yeah, he was a little bummed out that more people didn't show up to help, but he was there to help, and
which was great.
Yeah.
And it's just been rainy, and so no one wants to do anything.
Oh yeah.
So
this
all
has
right.
been Track Talk.
my back pedal. I've swam a couple times, run a couple times, haven't been biking hardly at all, except for e-biking. Does e-biking count?
Sure.
Sure, it does. And
Better than no biking, trust me.
And so e-biking has been actually pretty fun. I went out with my wife e-biking. It's so much fun. I like e-biking.
It's lovely.
It's not a workout.
It's a great break.
You can, I mean, when the weather's nice, you just go out there and cruise, and you can make it a workout if you want to.
Take any KOMs?
I don't know, because I literally like halfway through decided to like record it on my watch. So I mean, and I don't think I was going fast enough to take any KOMs. I think I like pushed it, 1 point. Like a lot of times I'll just like turn off the e-bike part of the motor and be like, oh, this bike is heavier than you think. Even though the bike I'm reviewing it's like a lightweight e-bike. It's still heavier than like you would think if you're used to just being on a road bike or whatever. So it's basically probably 3 times the weight of like what we're used to. I would say, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds or something like that.
Cool.
If you feel it underneath your legs, in your crotch area.
Your loin?
To make this, I gotta switch the podcast and make it a little bit dark.
Let's go dark.
It was a little too, it was a little too informative in this podcast. It's not what we're here for. Cool. That's my back pedal.
Right on, Gibbo.
Me? Oh, I've been cycling some. Went out this last weekend. The weather was beautiful with my good friend and fellow crusty old geezer, Dickie Mallison, and some of his team there. We rode a Tickle Creek Loop, which was 71 miles or so.
Tickle Old Creek
Really
Loop with the
cool.
crusty old geezer.
Yeah,
Got it. That's descriptive.
That sounds like a
I love
arrest
going
waiting to
out on Dickie's weekend rides because the pace
Tickle me,
is usually
Dickie.
mellow.
He's got a good group.
We stop for coffee.
Nice.
Good conversation.
Have you been
It's fun.
lifting at all at this point in the season, or?
Yeah. I'm still going to the gym. Let's see. So I go to the gym. I take 2 days off. Go to the gym. Take 2 days off. So it's like 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then aside from that, back on Zwift because it's pouring a rain here in the Pacific Northwest. In a way, though, it's kind of good. I'm back to doing more structured work. You know, I feel like I'm training again. So my sessions on Zwift have been quite productive. Sort of switching to a more short, intense intervals and ready for race season.
Do you feel like you've like kickstarted a little bit because you finally got a race under your belt for it'd been like 6 months since you'd done a race. So you did a race and it feel like that like
I felt inspired again
that's
by,
what I mean.
I mean, I did okay in the race, but I felt good. I felt strong, and we have done a bunch of solid base miles.
Sure.
But it's almost refreshing to switch back into actual structured training in a perverse kind of way.
It feels like you're accomplishing something just by getting through a single interval.
Yeah,
it feels like you're getting something
absolutely,
done.
and you feel like you are making solid improvements. Whereas in the depths of the winter, it's hard to gauge that. Anyway, going back 2 weeks, we pulled off the Michael Myers time trial, which was a big
we
project.
haven't even
I
talked
had
about
going
that,
on.
have we?
No,
We talked the last podcast. We talked
were
about we were kind of
prepping for it.
previewing.
we were just previewing it, but I think it went well. We had like 130-ish.
That's fantastic.
participants.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Good. Yeah.
It's not bad.
What was the general consensus on the team format?
I haven't really heard a lot of feedback about it. I
How
mean,
many teams did
personally,
We had like 10
That's pretty good.
or 12 teams. Was it
Wow.
10 or 12 teams?
yeah,
I think.
yeah, and I think everyone had a good time. It was, I love that format.
I think we should lean into that more next
Yeah.
year, and I think there should be a few guidelines added to it, though.
Yeah, okay.
Just my 2
We'll
cents.
talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Put everybody on a road bike.
yeah.
Period.
No TT bikes.
Oh, yeah, there was
You're
a
gonna
couple of teams that
eliminate-
had mixes of.
In the end, it,
Oh, you mean the team time trial thing?
Yeah, so
Well, that- yeah.
like the teams that were out there, they have like a guy that was on a TT bike and a couple that are on road
Yeah.
bikes, and Were there any teams that were all TT bikes?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing that.
I
But
kind of,
12 teams.
I kind of made the decision that this was a just for fun event. Like it wasn't going to be, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I don't know. I thought we may have more teams than we did. It was fun though. Like Lance and I had a team, and it was great. It's a great way to race. Love it.
It was.
Because you're actually there racing with your teammates. And then you go like hell for 30 seconds, and then you get a minute and a half rest in the middle. So it's not too intimidating. It's not
And I was barking at our teammates. I was trying to get him to go faster. Anyway,
I feel like that's doing that with road bikes is probably a good safety rule. Like I feel like when you mix in TT and road, it's a little interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it was
we're not pro part of the pro peloton here. I don't think we need to go that hardcore into the team TT.
I think every time you put these events on, you learn a little bit and ways to improve it the year after. But I think the formula is good. Like I think most people thought having the Eddy races, like essentially all road bikes in the morning, I think that was overall positively received. Yeah. Team time trial, those that participated had a good time. I kind of wish there was more. Nothing ever goes perfectly, and you can't please all the people all the time. There's always going to be people that it doesn't work for.
I feel that recipe that you have is good. You just need to kind of
tweak it a little bit.
Just a bit. There's a lot to be said about that team component. I think that like 12 teams, that's more than I was expecting. That's good. I think you can get a lot more. And I think if we just kind of better define the rules and then build it up a little bit more and make it something that people really want to go out there and prove themselves with, and let people know too, like you can put together any team. It doesn't have to be a team. It could be a composite of whatever. Go get.
Yeah, a lot of them were kind of put together on the day.
Yeah.
I didn't like I knew there wasn't going to be massive participation, so I didn't want to make the categories too granular. Like, so for example, I didn't want to have a road bike and a time trial bike categories because it would have thinned it out where there's only like one or two teams per category. But I think so. I mean, the difficulty is always getting the word out and getting enough. The more people that turn up at your event, the more you can do. You know, the more room you have to implement these ideas. And
then there was one other change, and I think probably on the fence with this one. We didn't have chip timing this year, and it's not because of anything other than they were already booked for another event. Didn't have access to chip timing. The upside, huge financial savings, because I don't think people realize how much it costs to have that be a part of your race. And on the other side of it, the results can be a little bit difficult to get in a timely manner, and that happened. Were the results accurate?
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't get. I mean. Yeah, nobody. I'm not aware of any challenges to the results.
Yep. So
there was some people disappointed that they missed their start time. It did not go perfectly, but it overall, I think it was a success. On the chip timing, though, it's the same thing. The bigger your event is, the more you can absorb those costs and more things you can offer. And I feel like if you've got 130 people at a 12-mile time trial, chip timing.
It's overkill. It's just not budget friendly.
Right.
If we had a promise of 300 people showing up, that's a whole different.
Then you do it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, good job, Ian.
Yeah. Good job. That's huge.
Cool. Hepler?
I did the time trial with everybody. That was a good time.
Survived.
So did a bunch of work helping Ian out, making sure that came off.
Yeah.
After the time trial, I don't know. We were supposed to record another podcast like last week, so this one's actually my fault because I got invited to go back to Arizona, so it was kind of a very last minute thing. My buddy Gary Allen, who lives in Tucson, there's an organization that puts on El Tour de Tucson, and they also put on another race called El Tour de Scottsdale. Just guess where that is. And they, Gary asked me, hey, why don't you come down and do this race and make another video? And I thought, wait, I'm not
I am crazy.
I am crazy. He actually called me at like
It's 1,400 miles away, and gas is like $5 a gallon. But yeah, that sounds
going
like a
anyway.
good idea.
He actually called me at like 4 p.m. on Tuesday, and I was in my van by 6 driving. I just made the decision. You know what? I'm just going to go. Screw it. I'm going to go.
I mean, you can do that. It's awesome.
I can do that. I didn't have responsibilities. The only thing I had on my schedule was recording this podcast, so it got pushed till today. And so, I drove all the way down there. I had stops in Vegas and in the Grand Canyon and in Bryce National Park and some rock hounding sites and in ghost towns. And I had a great week. I went down there. I did El Tour de Scottsdale. It's really a fondo and it's not a UCI race. And so, still it was 3,000 people.
Wow.
So the El Tour de Tucson is such a big event. That was 11,000 cyclists, but it's been going on for like 40 years. So it was so popular. They started another race called El Tour de Scottsdale, and they're trying to build that. And so this is like year 4, I think, of Scottsdale. And it's a 100-kilometer race. So only 62 miles, 3,000 feet of climbing. You all start at once. So again, you're in a big, huge group. There's a 50K, so there's a 32-mile one that you could do as well. But I did the 62-mile. They had a few pros that showed up, just like where at El Tour de Tucson, they had this prologue event where George Hincapie and they had a bunch of pros and Bradley Wiggins and all these people were there. At this one, they had a prologue event. I did not go to the prologue event, but they had Bobby Julich and Leanda Cave that came to that. Leanda Cave, 2-time
Ironman.
Yeah, Ironman. She won the world championships in the Ironman distance and in the half Ironman distance in the same year in 2012. Bobby Julich was a World Tour pro, and he did. He was actually on the podium in the Tour de France in 1998.
I saw your video of you riding alongside Bobby Julich.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I got to know Bobby at the Tour de Tucson back in November. So it's like I rode up. He caught me. I'd actually gotten ahead of him in the race, and
he's like, "Are you Lance?"
He's like, Lance.
The Lance Hepper?
He actually knows my name, which is also a little weird. But he's like, Lance, help me pull these guys back into that next group. And I'm like, okay, let's pull them back. So it was a downhill section, so I could actually help pull them back. But that's pretty cool. Big event. My plan was just to try to, I wanted to break 3 hours for 62 miles with this many feet of climbing. Roads were kind of narrow, wasn't too hot. And so I made a whole video about it. That was the point of going down there, was to make a video about it. You can watch all that. Regardless to say, I actually had a really good day. I had pretty good legs. I could not stay with the front group. But there were no pro teams here because it's not a USAC race. It's not a UCI race. All those races are doing the real races. This is more like a fondo, but we all have, chip timing. And so everybody goes hard. They don't have like age group awards. They just did awards for, they just did the awards for overall and for juniors. That was it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that kind of made it cool. But yeah, I ended up having a great day. I averaged like 23 miles an hour for the 62 miles. It was a great time. So yeah, I jumped in, had a good time, and then I immediately dashed back because I had a tooth go bad and ended up having to get a root canal. Had to get an emergency root canal. So if the twist of fate could stab me in the face, it just has, because I ended up having to have a tooth worked on. And so I've been dealing with a whole bunch of dental pain for the last 4 or 5 days. And why that came on, who knows? But
it happens to everyone.
It happens to everyone. Didn't have a big cavity in the tooth. It was a tooth that had a crown on it from years and years ago. Nerve just decided to die. And when a nerve dies in a tooth, it hurts like a mofo.
Yeah.
So I haven't been sleeping well. I haven't been able to think very straight. I'm super stressed about it because I'm just on edge. Because you just
we'll do a podcast and you go back home and chill.
you try to just like focus on it not hurting anymore. So,
Yeah.
but it's still.
Are you taking ibuprofen or Advil? Or
I had to
something?
take something stronger than that for a couple days. Yeah, and I don't do that.
I know that's scary stuff. Yeah.
So I had to take something stronger than that for a couple days. So I'm not taking that stuff anymore because it's just not worth friggin' messing with.
Yep.
So I just am not doing that. Also, my wife had shoulder surgery yesterday. So that was another reason I need to get back because I'm her caregiver. So another reason why.
How did that go?
It actually was, she had her right shoulder done last year, exactly a year ago. And so she had her left shoulder done yesterday, and it was much easier surgery than last year. So she's up and moving around a whole lot better than last year. So it went pretty smoothly, but she still needs some
Brace.
caregiving.
She's in a brace for a while.
She's in a brace. She's in a sling for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like tendon and rotator cuff surgery. So,
Well, everyone that's on the podcast, listening to the podcast, wishes the Hepler family some quick, speedy recovery.
I don't know if I deserve everything I get, so I don't know if I need anything there. But thank you. We appreciate that. So that's what's happened with me.
Oh,
I had a great week regardless. So
Great week. It was great. I had root canal.
Root
It was
canal.
the best week ever.
Had
Best
to
week
face.
ever. 2026, y'all.
25 hours driving.
it was more than that. It was 20 hours each way to drive from here to Phoenix.
I texted you and said, dude, I can get you a ticket to fly down
Right.
there. Too late. I'm already on the road.
I was already in Pendleton by
Yeah.
that time. It was like, no, I didn't go that way. I can't remember which way I went. Anyway, Jake,
what?
You gotta
how are you?
backpedal. There we go. Moving on. Champ Bailey.
Smash your face into a car windshield and then take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out for a nice seafood dinner and never call her again. Champ!
Woo, Champ is here. We have had some racing and it has been hot and good. What?
We need to replay the tape of what bets we made because...
Oh, dude, I
we
owe
bet.
you. We did make a bet,
And I think we bet $1 million if I remember correctly.
No, actually, we bet that I would get a shamrock tattoo on my ass.
Is that what it was?
Do you want to
Okay.
see it?
Yeah.
I've got it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, look at that, people listening on the podcast. It's a lot bigger than I thought.
Well, I had a lot to cover.
The tattoo is also bigger than I thought.
What was the bet? The bet was
I don't remember.
I said Vanderpool.
Everyone said Vanderpool because honestly,
I said Vanderpool would win San Remo, and was it San Remo we were betting on?
I think it was, yeah.
He was
Yeah,
San
Milan
Remo.
San Remo. Yeah,
and
yeah.
you said Pogacar, and I said Vanderpool, and Pogacar freaking pulled it off by
luck.
like 4 inches or something. So that was a great race. That was like 2 weeks ago. I guess that was 2 weeks
That's when
ago.
we were doing our preview.
Doing our preview. So, yeah, we've had a couple of classics.
Oh, just real quick though.
Roll it.
Going back to that race, who was my dark horse?
Did you say Pidcock?
No, I said Wout. He won the. He was on the
he
podium.
won the bunch sprint, yeah.
If he didn't go down, that would have been more interesting.
It would have
Well,
been much more interesting.
If MVP didn't go down, it would have been more interesting too. Because I think that's probably why he didn't win the race. I think he was hurting.
MVP ended up like 8th or something, or 10th. He was
It
like,
sounded like he couldn't hold his handlebars or
he
something.
broke
after
his,
that.
he broke a
hurt his-
finger.
Got a boo boo owie on his pinky
Yeah.
finger.
He broke his finger.
I was yelling for my man, Tom Pitcock. Oh, my God, that last kilometer.
Pidcock like came out of maybe he didn't come out of nowhere, but he gave him a run for his money.
Yes, he did, yeah.
It was pretty incredible.
The descending thing just scares me. Like, because like Pidcock's thinking like this is where I drop him somehow because
Right.
he's labeled himself a great descender, kind of
Yes.
like someone I know, and I just am thinking like, oh, Pogacar's just like hanging in there and doing great, but I'm like, this is just dangerous.
Well, and then the next week, Pidcock crashed on a descent because he kind of overtrusted himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that. Was it at
Didn't
Volta?
have Pidcock's wheel to follow.
No, Pidcock is who crashed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
Pidcock crashed on ascent because he went to take a drink and wasn't
It wasn't stable.
And he didn't quite gauge his drink right and like went off the road. Like actually went off the road into a canyon and actually just didn't get hurt badly, but enough that he pulled out from the race, I think.
And then Remco went down, and then
Remco went
was another
down
bizarre
on
one.
Volta Catalunya. That was also a bizarre one.
Yeah.
It seemed like he just what he said was he was in the lead with like 500 meters to go and was just switching from the hoods to the drops and
hit a bump or something.
and hit a bump at the exact time so that he missed the drops when he went to switch. He was doing it two-handed, right? Both hands on the hoods to both hands on the drops. And right when he did it, he hit a bump and he missed. Wow.
It's a good question right there. Is that what you normally do? Is it both hands at the same time, or you want left, right, left?
I go left, right, left, usually.
So it's like
if
one
I'm
at a time
thinking,
so that you've...
yes.
Okay.
If I'm thinking, that's what I do. But if I'm like oxygen deprived and like just kind of drilling it, I might do it both at the same time. I don't know.
I can't say I've ever done that both at the same time.
I'm sure
You always
when the
go one
road's
on one.
Maybe, I don't
smooth
know.
and you feel like you got this, like you might just, I don't know, you might just
Yeah.
tuck.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because, I mean, it's kind of just like any of the hands-free stuff.
It's
You're
pretty
like, this is
crazy.
good. I don't know.
Hey, there's been so many good races. Wevelgem happened. I guess it's called in Flanders Fields now, which is a weird name, but and so many good races happened. Do you guys? What just happened this last weekend, which was
This MVP.
phenomenal? It
Was the one that he got in the breakaway for many miles, and there was that chase group that was trying to catch on to him, and
It was
they got him
E3.
like right there, and they had him, and then they started playing a little bit of cat and mouse and gave him just enough of a window to hold his
They were like 20 yards behind
Yeah.
him. Right?
They were on his wheel. So you got to know there's four guys chasing. MVP's at the front. It's like 2K to go, and they get within 10 or 20 meters of him.
They're like, you pull us back up. No, you pull us back up. No, you pull
And you
us up.
got to know when there's four of them.
yeah, I saw
there's
that.
four of them. They're trying to close it. The person who finishes that probably does not have a chance at winning that race because he does the final close of the catch, and somebody will attack right over the top.
Exactly.
And the guy attacking over the top is probably going to be the guy that wins. So they all looked at each other, and MVP just like
They
doubled
worked together
down.
for so long. It was like
Yes.
over an hour trying to bring him back in, and then at the most crucial moment, they just like, I don't know,
They pooched
stopped.
it.
So did you see the stats on that though on MVP's?
No.
Yeah.
The last 90 minutes he averaged 420.
No,
watts or something like that.
His normalized power was 446 for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
The final 90 minutes of that race. 446.
Those numbers don't make sense.
I don't
They don't.
understand that. I can't hold 446 for 2 minutes. Well, I probably could, but that would be it. And he did it for 90 at the end of a 5-hour race.
Insane.
So is pretty remarkable. And then we had the just crushing blow of Wout van Aert yesterday. Was it the day before? Did you guys see that? Wout made a move. What race was that? It was
It was the Baby Flanders. What's it called?
Dwars door Vlaanderen. Yeah, Baby Flanders. Yeah, Dwars door Vlaanderen. And Wout had a break. He attacked the break, got away with like 40K to go, was drilling it on his own, had a good enough gap. The sprinter team started to bring him back, and then Filippo Ganna, he attacked with one other guy, and they actually were able to close the gap, and Filippo Ganna attacked in the last like 800 meters, and they passed freaking Wout in the last 200 meters. So he gets second, and Filippo Ganna wins that race, which is pretty. That was a remarkable race to watch too. So
Going back to MVP,
Yeah.
power numbers, just to put it into perspective, if you're listening to this and you have a Strava account and you use a power meter, just go into your thing, on the Strava app, you can click on that, and then you can go in there and you can look under best efforts, and then it gives you like kind of a scrolling number of your power numbers ranging from 5 seconds all the way up to 1 hour. Go check that real quick and see what your 1 hour time is, and then work backward from that to see when you finally hit something remotely close to what MVP did for 90 minutes. That will give you some indication as to what that felt like, which is bonkers. You're like, oh, I had a good hour, and then you hear what he did for 90 minutes, and you're like, I suck.
Well, let's hear yours, Jake. Did you look at yours?
Where do I get this?
So if you go into Strava, in the bottom right-hand corner, click on you, and then scroll a little bit until you see your best efforts section in there. Click on that. Make sure it's obviously tied to the cycling component. And you should in there see your best efforts, again, ranging from 5 seconds, and then it goes up to 15, 30, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 30, 45, and 1 hour. So again, it just like it spins your head to think about he did that off the front of a race after doing how many races already this season, and how far into that race was he already to finish the race for that 90-minute period?
Yeah.
I mean, he had to put in some digs along the way, or there was effort prior to that, and it's just amazing to think what is humanly possible. Did you find it yet, Lance?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Here, let me see your phone real quick.
My 1 hour is 272 for this year. 272 watts for this year.
And are you a premium account?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe I need to update my app.
Maybe.
It's something like 420 for an hour, I think.
For you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mine's 274. My hour and a half is 265, and he did 446.
Just 4 times.
Just 200 watts more. Oh my gosh. I freaking love it.
Ian, your app looks different than mine for some reason, and I'm not seeing it in there, but keep doing this here. Yep, my 1 hour, what was yours?
This year was
all time.
Well, mine says 396, but that was when I had a power meter that was giving me false information.
Oh, you should just own that.
There's no way I held 396.
My 1 hour, best 1 hour supposedly was 342. And getting back to something remotely close to Vanderpoel, I would have to go to, hold on here. My 15-minute was 422.
Really?
And so my 10-minute jumps up to 534, but my 15-minute, so what he did for 90 minutes, I could maybe hold on to for, say, 15.
For 15.
Yeah. That's just insane to look at that discrepancy there. Now I could probably hold his wheel for 20 seconds, maybe, if not less. Anyway, back to you, champ.
I love it. I don't have a whole lot more to say. There's just so many good races. We're right on the gas.
What's coming up,
with
Flanders?
It all. Flanders is this weekend. Roubaix is next weekend. So 2 big monuments happen this weekend. I know
the next 2 weeks.
Flanders is only shown on Flow Sports, and Roubaix is shown on Peacock. So Peacock. So Roubaix might be easier to watch than Flanders.
So I registered for Flow. I jumped on VPN, told the internet I was in Canada, signed up for Flow Sports, and then every time I go on Flow Sports, I'm in Canada, and you get far more races.
You get more races.
You get much more races if you're a Canadian.
Got it.
Pro tip.
I do use a VPN for some things as well.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it.
Who's going to win Flanders?
Well, I mean, Pogacar's there.
Pogacar's got to be a favorite.
Pogacar's got to be a favorite.
It's going to be another MVP Pogacar race, though.
So for the last 2 years, Pogacar's won it the last 2 years with like 80-kilometer attacks.
Yes.
I think Vanderpoel won it the year before that.
But they're both going to be there.
Both going to be there. Yep.
Which I would think that then they would be the 2 favorites.
They would be the 2 favorites. Although it's interestingly enough, I mean,
it's set up better for Pogacar.
It's set up better for Pogacar because it's longer. The longer it is, the better it is for him.
Yep.
There's enough difficult climbs that it's good. But
has he said anything like, I'm going to go at 80K? Let everyone get prepared.
That hasn't come out yet. No.
Okay. Well, that's usually like the day before the race.
He's been focusing on doing recon for Paris-Roubaix because he has not won Roubaix.
Right. And that's a tough one.
And so that's one more check that he's trying to check off. That's one of the races he hasn't ever won. And so he wants to. He came close last year.
When is it fair to put the crown on him as the best of all time?
I think we're there.
Are we still on a consensus of it? Is it Merckx? Is that the best of all time, supposedly?
It is.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to take that Lance Armstrong guy out of the equation?
Yeah, Armstrong didn't really win one-day races.
And he didn't do it. Yeah, I was going to say classics.
He won a few. He did a few, but that's
like
not what he's
Jonas,
focused on. Yeah.
So what would be the defining factor where you would say, yeah, it's Tade? I mean, does he have to match Merckx's number of stage wins or beat Cav?
No, but he could.
Oh yeah,
he really could because he's halfway there, I think,
He is halfway there, younger than both they were. What's going to happen with Pogacar is he's going to get bored.
Probably,
he's going to get bored with it eventually.
Anything can happen, man.
Right?
We talk about crazy accidents all the time.
Injuries, accidents, or apathy. It could be any one of those things. I've won this crap a million times. I'm done with this. I've made enough money. I want to go raise a family.
Yeah.
I could see that.
What's 26, 27?
That he's won?
No, his age. I think that's about right.
I think that's right.
26,
I would say he's probably going to stay pretty married to this for at least the next 3 to 5 years. After that, I think you might be right. It's just like, what else is left in it for me other than maybe trying to beat Merckx? And if it comes down to that, that would actually be kind of fun, like to see him kind of like be done maybe with some of the other stuff and just focus on taking stage.
I heard he's going to switch over to cyclocross. You guys heard it here first.
3 years ago? He was in a race like 3 years ago.
Well, he grew up in Slovenia, and there he raced cross as a kid too. Of course. So because that's what you do in Europe. But what would be interesting is if he could win all 5 monuments in a year, in a calendar year. Nobody's ever done that before. Won all 5 of the monuments.
I mean, I think he's already the guy, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, it's a fun kind of thought experiment, but in a way, the comparisons are meaningless in a way.
Yeah.
When you think today, with the knowledge we have on diet and training, and the equipment we have and so on, the playing field is much more level and bigger than it ever was in Merckx's day.
Yeah.
And yet, Tadej Pogacar rises well above the top of that, whereas, and all things are much more equal now. There's so much more, there's less diversity in training and all the rest of it than there was back in the 70s. So
just would be super exciting if we could see somebody else boil up to the top with him and give him a run for his money before he starts to be a question of like, oh, is he over the hump or is he too old? And that's 27. Why people can't. Exactly. So
I think any sport kind of gets old when it's just one person dominating it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So there's this, there's Del Toro who could do something, who's young. There's this sexiest kid, I don't know. How do you say his name?
That sounded
bad. Is that the Paul Sexis? What is his name?
Paul. The French guy that did super well in Strade Bianche.
Yeah, and he's like 19. Yeah, and he rode away from one of the Big 4 or something like that. He dropped a couple of them.
Big 6, if I remember.
6, sorry. So there are some people that are going to come. Someone's going to come along and be better because it happens all the time. But
something will happen.
We are in an age where
it's right now. It's
just faster and faster,
dominated.
And faster.
Yes,
it's being so good.
Cool. All right,
champ out.
Moving along.
I did it with nothing but my own blood, sweat, and tears, and extra blood.
People dope. Yeah. This is a sport with literally hundreds of dollars on the line and dozens of fans. The stakes are medium.
Come on. How do you beat a man on drugs if you're not on drugs?
Wait, did you just admit to being on drugs?
The EPO chain mail. Send us a text with your questions. Forward this podcast to 15 people, and you'll lose 10 pounds overnight without even trying.
You've got mail.
And that we do. We've got 3 of them.
Fantastic.
First and foremost, do you remember the last podcast we did? Only a paltry,
a couple weeks ago?
13 days ago or so?
Yes, just 2 weeks ago.
not 65. We talked about somebody who had asked about preparing to go to Majorca, right?
Yes.
Okay. This text comes in. Thanks for answering 65 days later, LOL. It was cool listening to the podcast while driving from Palama Airport to the hotel.
Oh, no. Seriously.
So we gave him, what, like a couple hours to prepare?
A couple hours to prepare.
I feel like we timed our podcast with his trip perfectly.
Yeah. It was an evil, maniacal plan all along and mission accomplished. So to answer that, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. Before I get into the next question, well, actually, we'll pin it to the last one. I want you to pull up the Giro real quick. I want you to pull up who we're looking at in there. And then the next question is, this is actually a pretty good little question. I like this one. Coming to us from Portland, Oregon. For local racing road categories, when should you go to Cat 3 and is it safer? That is a good question. I like that one.
That is a great question.
So, I think it's safer.
Yes.
Answer that question right off the top. Is it safer?
Yes, it is safer.
100% safer.
It is safer. Just because you have people that have more experience racing in a pack. Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, doing this Gran Fondo where we were not separated by categories, you just lined up. And oftentimes you will race with people who are very strong, who do not know how to ride next to you.
Yeah.
You're not comfortable riding 6 inches from somebody. Yeah. And you can definitely tell a difference when, now I've done both in the last year where I've raced in 4 or 5 fields and I've raced in Cat 3 fields or 1, 2, 3 fields. And there's a definite difference in bike handling ability, in line holding, and in concern for the other people around you. That might be very different in elite fields where the win is more on the line for the pro elite, where, I mean, freaking Justin, what's the guy's name from Legion? Man, those guys risk their lives and elbow people out of the way.
Very physical. And
it gets very
it's
physical.
Very gray, borderline.
Yes.
Yeah. They've got semantics that can be questioned, but
and that's kind of crit racing.
It is. Yeah.
I think that the move from 4-5 to 3 is probably the most important one to make. I mean, if you go from 3 to 2, things change. You do longer races, but you're already in Cat 3. You're already amongst much more experienced riders.
Yeah, and there's even a bigger jump too, going from Cat 3 to like Masters Cat 3.
Yeah,
because those guys tend to have a little bit more wherewithal of like, I have to go to work on Monday. I've got a family that I need to support, and it's it's fun, it's worth it, but I'm not going to be taking extra risk, or maybe those sub 25-year-old men that don't have that developed frontal precortex. they're not making the best decisions, and they're not thinking it all the way through.
Yeah, the most important reason to move up is because it is safer. It's way safer, and it's understandable. I mean, people do hang on to their Cat 5 licenses for way too long. Like Cat 5 is novice rider.
But you're still stuck with the Cat 5 when you're a 4.
So, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So accumulate the upgrade points. Actually, you don't even have to do that here in Oregon, at least. If you have enough mass start races, I think
10.
Is it 10?
It's 10 mass starts.
Then do yourself a favor and move up.
Do you think it would ever make sense? I mean, it does happen from time to time, but what if Cat 5 was just Cat 5? It wasn't a mixed 4-5, and you put the 3-4s together, and then you have the 1-2s together. I know there's not enough bike races out there to make that happen.
They do that on Tuesday at PIR, and I think that's a really good. I love the 3-4 races.
That's a good feel, yeah.
Because I'm a Cat 3 and I can be competitive in the 3-4s. You know, you get the faster, younger Cat 3s join the 1-2-3s. And then as oldie Cat 3s.
Yeah, it was kind of fun where they did give you that decision of like, I can go 1-2-3 or I can go 3-4. So,
yeah, so it's safer, and the races are no doubt faster.
Yeah.
You have to have the horsepower to back that up.
Yeah.
Right.
So the next question, a part of this, I mean, I think we're all on the same page. Is yes, it's safer for a lot of reasons that we already mentioned. But the next question is, when should you go to Cat 3?
Is he asking specifically about the road?
Yeah, it's specifically road racing. Now, Hepler, you're a Cat 4?
No, not anymore.
You
I'm
got
3.
bumped up to 3, but did you kind of go?
I asked.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay. Weren't you like apprehensive about doing that? We're going to go kicking and screaming?
I was, because being catted up in both cyclocross and mountain bike was like just absolute like pain in my ass when I got catted up in both those categories because I'm getting my butt absolutely kicked, which is fine. And so I really didn't want to go unless they made me. And that was initially my plan, was just wait until they make you before you actually cat up, you know. But it is actually very difficult on the road to win enough points to cat up to 3, especially in our local area, because we don't have enough road races where you can actually score enough points in a season to cat up to a 3.
Maybe that's a sign of
what?
I had enough points.
So
when I first,
that was years ago though. We don't have as many road races
exactly.
now.
That was going to be my point, because when I first moved here, I had never done a road race ever. Never had a license for any category of any road racing ever with any governing body. In my first year, I was a Cat 3. Not by choice. I got kicked out of the 5s, kicked out of the 4s, and sent to the 3s.
You won one and then one, right?
Yeah, I won several races in a row. And I was fine with that. And not for nothing, I loved the 3s because that's where all my friends were at. And it suited my training schedule really well, because to go up to that 1-2, that's another level of commitment that you need to commit to, especially if you're going to do like a proper road race.
Yeah,
and
the 1-2, the distances are usually a lot.
Yeah, like a 40 or 50 mile race all of a sudden became 70, 80, 90 miles. And there's a big commitment to that. And when you're trying to, work and raise a family and have a life outside of cycling that doesn't.
Cat 3 is the sweet spot.
It is.
I think so.
And I loved it for a long time, and then I got kicked out of that too. Damn it. But
there's the 2 times you should consider moving up is, one, if you're winning all of your races,
I'm sorry.
Too fast.
I win
right?
any Cat 4 races. But Cat mountain biking,
if you're fast, if you're consistently faster than the rest of your field, then move up. In just for your fellow racers' sake. Yeah. And 2, once you have enough experience, if you feel like you're an experienced rider now, move up. And because the Cat 3s won't appreciate you coming into their field if you're still riding like a novice.
And if you do want to stay at a particular category, don't go out to PRR, which is a points race, and take all the points. Because you get an email from them that next Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday saying, congratulations, you've just been upgraded.
Well,
but on the flip side, you can also go unnoticed by OBRA and the other governing bodies. And some races, like you have to write in and list all of your positions, all of your achievements, because some of those times those weekly races get overlooked.
PIR doesn't really count for upgrade races except for the month-long series.
Correct.
Yeah. So if you win everything in your leading in the month-long series, those count for upgrade points. But the individual weekday races...
And that's a ridiculous notion, because it should, because like... Name a road race that you've done that's been bigger than the biggest one you've been at PIR, or even bigger than the average size of what you race at PIR. I mean, you're out there competing against...
The fields at PIR are twice as big as any other road race in this area.
So,
but again, that 10 race threshold, that's not much. You can do 10 races.
That's from a 5 to a 4.
No, well,
no, the 10 race thing is from a 5 to a 4.
What is it from a 4 to a 3?
You have to have some kind of results or something. So, I've been racing as a 4 for like 8 years or 7 years. And so finally, the reason I upgraded to a 3 was because Chris Serrett needed help in a crit. And
that's right. It was that Portland, right?
It was a Portland crit. He wanted some help he's trying to win the bar for the year. And so he wanted some help in the crit. I couldn't race with him unless I was a 3. So I just emailed the person and said, hey, this is
Jen, probably.
Yeah, Jen, hey, this is Lance freaking Hepler. Can you make me a 3? And she just
said, hell freaking yeah.
She just responded immediately. She says, of course, you're a 3. Yep. Just because I've done enough races that it was, I don't know. So I don't know. But there is specific rules and things you're supposed to hit. I think the 10 race minimum is from a 5 to a 4.
But I think you can also go to 3 through experience as well. It might be more.
Obra.org. Go to the rules. It's all there.
Upgrade rules.
If you're curious. So I guess to answer the question, when should you go? You should go when you feel like if you're feeling like you want to go there, don't let that nervousness set in. Like if you feel like you can be competitive, go. If you feel like you're unsafe on the 4 or 5s and you've got the points to go, go. If you want to like challenge yourself, go. I mean, that's a good thing. And you will, iron sharpens iron. You're going to go out there, and if they're going to be racing harder and faster, you will acclimate to that. It might give you a new, renewed sense of like, hey, I want to go do this and I want to be even better at it. So maybe your training gets a little bit sharper. Maybe you put a little bit more time, energy, and effort into it. Go have fun with it.
If you want to cut down on your chance of being laid out on the road with a broken collarbone, then move up.
Yeah, and the other thing is when you should go is like you should go right after you hire Coach Gibson to get you a training program so that you can start preparing for that. That's a good time to go to. So. Yeah. At dialedperformancecoaching.com. Right?
Thank you, Jake.
Yep. Okay, here, I'll clarify. So to go to a 4 to 3, you need 20 points in any 12-month period or experience in 25 qualifying races. So it's 10 races from a 5 to a 4, but it's 25.
Gotcha.
And I had plenty of that. Yeah. So that's why she didn't even
25 lifetime or just in a certain time period?
It just says experience in 25 qualifying races.
Okay, no, that works.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for that. Moving on to the last one. Giro predictions from Connecticut again, but this one's from Danbury, Connecticut. And it's a different Connecticut person. So for you Connecticut listeners out there, thank you for the messages. We appreciate that. Do we have any Giro predictions?
Well,
it's not too far away. It's like in a month-ish.
It's like 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
But Vingegaard is signed up. So he's got to be the favorite.
Yep. And who else? Who's your top 5 or 10 or whatever?
Yao Alameda, Carapaz, Jai Hindley. Those are all names that are on the start list for the Giro.
I don't see any of those beating Vingegaard right now.
Let me ask you another follow-up question on that. Jonas, let's say he does this grueling race. Does that affect Tour de France? Like because he's got to be a favorite for that as well.
He is a favorite for that.
One of the dudes, because he always has been.
Certainly should be on the podium at the Tour de France if he stays healthy.
Do you think it's hard to double back?
But he's never done it.
So we don't know.
So he decided this was going to be the year that he was going to do both, and why not? If Pogacar is not doing the Giro and he is going to be doing the Tour de France, then it was a good choice for Vingegaard to decide to do the Giro this year.
I think that's a good thing for him. I mean, the past couple of years, he's had issues going into the Tour. If he can stay healthy through the Giro, I think that might actually bode in his favor. I don't think he's going to be.
You think the 3 weeks will help his fitness level?
You're correct. I do.
He's going so well.
And if he's going really well, and if he plays his cards right, he might be able to like sit in even a little bit. You know what I mean? Like kind of like temper. It just depends on like how closely contested it is. But
I feel like these guys. I mean, for us, we're just talking shit. We don't know. I think these guys probably know exactly how it'll affect their fitness.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Vingegaard has just won Volta Catalunya and he won Paris-Nice. So he's won 2 week-long races leading up to this, and he was kind of untouchable in both those races. He kind of cleaned up everybody, I guess.
Do you think that
Remco kind of self-destructed himself?
Doing any of the classics?
Races?
Yeah. Do you think that plays to his advantage? I know that he's not really necessarily built for those.
He's not really a classic rider, so why go do that?
Yeah.
So I think it's better for him not to. Just go back to
predictions.
elevation.
What's your prediction?
I think that Jonas will win by like 4 minutes.
Who's going to take second? Almeida?
Either Almeida, Del Toro might be on the start list too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about you?
But I don't think that Del Toro is designated as the leader. Yao Alameda is designated as the leader for UAE. However, Yao Alameda is on UAE. He is. The problem is Yao Alameda has been sick and he crashed this year. And so he has not had a good month leading up to it. Whereas Del Toro kind of has. Yeah. He crushed at the UAE Tour.
So you'll just say UAE is going to take second place?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's hard to bet against Vingegaard. He's had a great run up. He did have one crash in training a month or so ago, but it doesn't seem to have affected him in the long term. Like you said, he's just won 2 week-long stage races. He's he's primed and ready to go.
Yep. Gotcha.
Number one.
Matt, you got any?
I mean, I think it's. I'll be very curious to see if knowing that the longer race season ahead plays into the tactics. If like there's all these like little strategies. Do you want the jersey now? Do you want to get the jersey later in the race? And my gut feeling is that maybe there'll be more sitting back in this particular Grand Tour, and that things might get interesting the third week, or maybe not, or maybe everyone's just like, yeah, he's going to take the jersey when he wants to take it, and here he goes. I don't know.
Yeah, should be fun.
I think he'll take it on the. Is there a time trial in the first week or so? He'll take it then.
I have no idea.
You think he'll take it in the first week and just hold it?
Probably.
Boring.
I know.
I think he'll not want it for a block of time.
Cool. All right, well, there you go. Jonas Vingegaard. All right, moving on. Anything else? No.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned that Jonas Vingegaard crashed, and he crashed on a training ride because he was trying to get away from some dumbass master racer who was trying to like chase him down.
His name was Lance.
If you recall, that was the same week that we ran into that Bruno Amelia, whatever. Amaral. We ran into Bruno Amaral on Tenerife, and he is also on Jumbo Visma or Visma Lisa bike. He's on the same team. And I made a little video about running into him and mentioned, hey, I should have probably chased him down. But I chose not to because I just didn't want to like mess with, because he was doing sprints. He was like doing like 40-second sprints. And then he would ease up and we would catch up to him, and then he would do another sprint.
Yep.
And so I'm like, oh, maybe I should have chased him down, see if I could hang with the guy. And I didn't. And then that very week, Vingegaard crashed trying to get away from some asshole just like me. So that's funny. So I'm glad I made a better choice.
All right. Thank you for sending those in. We really do appreciate them. If you want to contribute, just hit up your little podcast player. It's on, I think, just about all of them. There's a thing where you can text the show, and it just comes up in our little dashboard thing, and we get all of the messages that you ask. You don't have to disclose anything other than your question either, and we'll read them. Love it. Cool. Topic. Ian, what's our topic for today? I think
we were going to talk about we were going to bring it down from pro racing and talk about the local racing scene.
Yep.
The teams, our team.
What's the health of our team, other teams, all teams?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's first and foremost, I don't want to get into the me part of it, but what would you say the state of bike racing is right now? Do you still feel like we're still kind of sputtering along since trying to get things kind of kicked back into action post-COVID, or do you think that things are vibrant, alive and well, and thriving? What would your take on the racing be? Well, I guess you and Lance, because you guys are out there more than any of us.
I think since I entered this particular bike racing community, there's definitely less. The first few years we were here, you and I were racing together. There was a lot of road races. Of course, now the gravel scene has taken over a lot of that. So it's changed. I would say it's still healthy. Yeah,
I would say the gravel scene's taken over because people are wanting to go race their gravel bike a lot, and there's actually money for promoters to make in there. I don't see any teams putting on the gravel races, right?
No, there are no teams.
Those are all the promoters trying to put food on the table, which is great. But those promoters are kind of still like they're not doing the road stuff so much. We do have road racing. Are those put on by promoters? I mean, well, I guess, Ian, you're one of the promoters. Do you have any
So I'm putting on Barton Park road race in May. And, I mean...
None of our road races are put on by promoters.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So if I put on Barton Park road race, which means having a huge crew of flaggers and... traffic coordinators
and drivers
and lots of expensive. If I charge more than $50 or so, that's going to put people off coming to my events.
Sure.
Whereas you can put on a gravel race, people will drive, 3 hours, 4 hours to this gravel race and pay $150 for a day's racing.
Real West Gravel was $150
it adds up.
and
So
he had almost 400 participants, like 380
as a promoter, putting on road races is a challenge.
It is.
It's a challenge to make it worth your while, and that's what's happening.
I know that there's your race, and obviously we've got PR, that's a whole nother topic of discussion. And then there's the Banana Belt. Who's putting on Banana Belt? Who picked that up?
It's the new team called Super Rare Racing. Yeah. It's a brand new team this year.
Good for them.
Yeah, Super Rare Racing.
Super Rare.
Yeah, Super Rare. And I don't know who that is.
Well, good for them. Are there any other road races on the calendar?
There is the Rowena road race, right? The state championships in
so
June.
is this like kind of like the old Gorge Roubaix?
Yes.
Is it the same course? Are they going up the Dry Creek Trail?
It's the same course.
No.
It's not?
No.
Oh,
they couldn't get a permit for the Rowena curves.
Are you kidding me?
No,
that's
because
the best part of that race.
The best
it
part.
is. And I guess the thing was it's something to do with the wildfire they had out there last year or a couple of years ago.
So they won't let you ride bikes through there for a race.
I don't know the full story of it. Bottom line is, so they've got a cool new course out at the Dells.
Yeah, it's still
so
cool.
It's going to be great. It's actually a whole weekend. They're going to have the road race state champs on the Saturday and the state champs time trial on the Sunday.
And they're calling it an omnium.
Yeah.
So you get points for each race plus a state championship. Each individual race is state championships for each day.
Yeah. So aside from that, there is Baker City. Of course, that's a very long-standing race going on in Oregon. That comprises 3 road stages. There is the series. There's both Monday and Tuesday night. PIR is back. Tabor is back. And then later in the summer, there's the whole crit series, Red R Crit, and the state championship criterium is down at the Lloyd Center, the Portland Criterium this year.
And the Bend Criterium will happen again.
It's really not bad. There's racing going on for sure.
Yeah,
this year.
Do you think that teams need to step up and be promoters? I mean, that kind of used to be the norm. At least that's what I'm told. And
if you were a team, you actually had to do something with the race.
Well, now you get a bit of a discount, I guess, for your team registration with Obra, which doesn't really give you anything. They don't even give you acknowledgement for the team bar. And the other thing was putting up a list on their website to show that you exist and a phone number.
Right.
Anyway, I digress.
I mean, what I've learned is it really is a grassroots effort. I mean, even in Portland, where cycling is a big thing, and the bike racing scene is relatively thriving. Yeah, it's still a kind of a niche.
Mm-hmm. It is very
sport.
Much. Yeah, it is.
There's not that many of us. You can't just sort of join a team and just immediately just have events to go to and assume that those events are always going to be there. Yeah. I believe that if you are going to be partaking in those events, then at some point you should be contributing as well. It is up to us. I believe it's up to the teams and the people that want to race to keep the racing going. Yeah. I mean, that's in a way, that's why I'm doing Barton Park to kind of give back and be part of that.
That's a huge thing for our team because it also makes our team look a lot better. Because when Dial first started, there was, I'm not naming names, but there was quiet undercurrents of you got this massive teams and you guys don't even put on a race. I mean, and we didn't. I think we went. What did we go 5 years before we started putting on races or helping?
When we first started, though, there was no room on the schedule to put on a race.
True.
So I mean, it's all right, great,
and we wanted to.
Yeah,
and we wanted to.
Yeah.
And then there was an opportunity, and it worked out perfectly.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't want to be the pot calling the kettle black and being like, all teams need to put on races. We didn't when we started, but then hats off to Ian who's doing the work, which is huge.
Yeah, hats off to me.
Hats off to you.
A tip of the hat to the British guy to the left. Yes.
When I first started here, I mean, there was 10, 12 road races like every single weekend, starting like the first week of February. Like that's where the time trial was. And then after that, it was just the next one and the next one. I mean,
and I remember being like, you can't, like, races were getting overlapped and you couldn't fit anything on the calendar.
And then it slowly kind of like shrunk down just a little bit. There were still not places to put stuff. And then COVID happened. And then
you think
there
COVID was
all kinds of spots and places to put a bike race. So I don't know.
I guess my point is, if you were playing baseball or soccer or something, there's a massive pool of people in your area, most likely, that are doing the same thing. So there's a huge incentive for people to put events on and make money from those events, and you're always able to rely on sufficient turnout to make it happen. Whereas bike racing is at such a much smaller scale. You really have to work at it to keep it going. I mean, and I don't think people appreciate that enough, that if you want to be a bike racer at an amateur level anywhere in the US, basically, you have to keep working to keep having it happen.
Yeah.
It's not just always going to be there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that feed into that too.
Yeah.
You've got to introduce it to kids at a young age, and if that's not happening, then you're not going to have a generation that's going to come up wanting to do that. There's so many people that even come into the lab to whatever, and like they know about bikes. Obviously, they want to go ride bikes, but they have no idea. Like, oh, there's a bike racing scene here.
Yeah.
What's that all about? Tell me about this. And they're like, I had no idea. And then you have to, tell them about that. But, if kids know about this stuff at an earlier age, then they start to tell their friends, and it just becomes a little bit more, viral, if you will. But yeah, it's
there's a lot of people kind of, I don't want to make this sound negative really, but there's a lot of people that like the idea of joining a bicycle racing team. They like the look of it, the vibes, the optics. You wear all this cool clothing, you join a team, you're a bike racer, but then they don't come to bike races. Not only our team, but a lot of teams are basically made up of, 10%, 15% of the people that sign up to be on a bike racing team regularly go bike racing.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
You've got a point there, and there's just all kinds of, dynamics that feed into that. Now, for the person that signs up for a bike racing team and just has never raced and never will race, but they're saying that they're on a team, then that person, we can probably sit down and say, hey, maybe look at this club instead that likes to go ride bicycles, not race them. But I don't know. There's things that you can do to definitely encourage people. I usually like to approach that from a positive perspective and see what I can do to help encourage them to get there and give them positive challenges. Telling them that, on the opposite end of that, saying you don't race, you're out of here. I don't want to push them out the door. So
carrot rather than a stick.
Exactly. So there is that. I don't know. I guess that kind of like we can lean into that a little bit with respect to our own team, and we've got a relatively large team. Full disclosure, I can't even give you a full number as to what we have on our team right now. There's a lot of reasons for that, but that's going to get honed in here over this next year, hopefully.
And people still seem to want to join. Like, I think that's really nice. It says something about the team that
all the time.
We still get inquiries about it.
Yeah, which is great.
We bring on new people pretty regularly.
It's kind of strange though that this is where I never understand this part of human nature. Like, you should not have to keep bugging these people to race. You should not have to come up with incentives. They've already joined a cycling team. It's like when you put on a bike race like Barton Park, you think, okay, I've done this now, but then people don't sign up to the last minute. Here's your race. It's local.
Right.
It's easy to get to. It's affordable. And even so, there's people's, it's just that.
It's called life though, Ian. Honestly, I think that there's people that just go through, times of, there's seasons to your life, and life's going to ebb and flow, and there's a lot of things that will get in the way. And we've actually even just recently, we've had people that were on our team back in the very beginning, and then we really didn't hear from them for 3, 4, 5 years, and it's because life happened, and they faded to black. And it's not for anything, there's no bad feelings, but then they've come back around and say, hey, they'll come in and they'll talk, and they're like, sorry, started a new job. I got married. We had kids. We moved back. I mean, little things that come up in life are going to happen, and that can keep you from being able to do the thing that you love. And what's hard is like, you still love the sport. And if you want to go race, that takes a certain commitment of being able to go out there and train and put in the quality time to make sure that you're prepped and ready to go, so that when you go out there, you have a fun time, you have a positive experience, as opposed to like basically doing a 40, 50, 60 mile bike ride by yourself. That's never fun. So, and I think another component too is the people that say that they want to race are typically a little bit more on that type A side of things. And they kind of demand perfection of themselves, and they want to do well, and they don't want to go out there and embarrass themselves or misrepresent what their true intentions are. Personally, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, well, I can't even ride a bike right now, but when I get back out there, I will deal with that. I know that I've got it in me. I know it's going to take a hell of a lot of time to get prepped and ready to go and get back up to that spot where I feel somewhat, confident in my abilities. But to ask me to do a race until I get there, that's a big ask of me.
Yeah.
But that's just a psychological thing, and that's me being like, all right, I know that I have the capacity to do this, and the differential between where I'm at and where I want to be or where I know I should be is pretty massive, and it's hard to convince yourself to go out there and do it. So
I agree. I mean, I agree with that, and also I know I had many friends on our team that don't race anymore. What happened to those guys? Like you said, life has got in the way.
Yeah.
But I also feel, if I'm being honest, at some point, a team, Dial Cycling or whoever, should say, this is the roster for this year. This is who's racing. This is who's not racing. And maybe those people that are not racing want more of a club type experience. A team is a team, right? When you go out to a race and you want to be part of a team, it's part of your experience. And when you get there and nobody else from your team has showed up, it's kind of a downer. Right?
It is a little bit. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. And yeah, that's tough to say. And I don't want to call people out and say, oh, you're not on the team this year. No. You got downgraded to the club. You got relegated.
But I know there's probably not that many years of me racing left in me, to be honest. And I would hate for you guys to say, well, Ian's not racing anymore. He's not on the team. So I do understand that, for sure.
Also, I think a lot of people probably wouldn't care if they were on the club versus the team. Yeah. Some people would, but a lot of people wouldn't bat an eye. If you were I'm kind of getting, I'm going to do some gravel stuff, but I don't want to do this anymore. You might be fine with being club's fine. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. I have no idea. Another
thing I think a lot of people deal with is the whole concept behind what goes into being competitive and being a bike racer. I mean, if you're almost being asked to be on a bike for 8 to 12 hours a week, and you've got to go out there and train, and then you're going to be gone all of these weekends and all of these weeknights and all that stuff, and you've got family, you're going to do that, and you're going to get buy-in from the family. But if you do that year over year over year, you might have a little bit of friction with a spouse, or you might feel like I am missing out on kid events, or you might feel I'm just a little bit burnt out. I need a break from this because it is a big ask, because it's not like you do it for 3 months and then you can take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months off. No, you're going to do it for 3 months, and then you got to get back into training and getting ready for either the next, discipline. You're going to go from road to gravel, or gravel to mountain, or mountain to, cross. Yeah. It just doesn't kind of let up, and it's fun. You want to do it all. You want to be ever present, but you get burnt out, and you have to you have to manage that. And we had some people on the team several years ago, and they were doing over 200 races a year. I'm like, that's not sustainable. That's not gonna pan out well. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. That's what happened. Fell off the map.
Yeah.
So
I know in my own experience, going back, I was riding a lot, riding as much as I can. I wasn't in great shape, but I had all those family commitments and work and obligations and so on. And only at the point where those things kind of faded a little bit, and I was thinking, I've got time now. I'm either going to quit riding or I'm going to push it up to the next level. Right. Mm-hmm. I think I've got the time. I think I've got the motivation. I think I've got the wherewithal. I'm going to join a team now and go bike racing. Mm-hmm. And then when I don't see that in others, I think that's kind of frustrating. They joined our team, but they knew they didn't have time to go racing. What's up with that?
That's where you encourage them. Say, hey, come on, I want you at this race. I think that you would do good at this race. We're going to work together. Help build up their confidence a little bit,
And I support, you and I were talking about this the other day at the time trial, and I support that the ones that do step up and race and represent the team, then we should offer something to encourage that. The carrot, right? Something to differentiate and say, this guy's representing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Positive
reinforcement.
Dialed. He's representing the sponsors on the back of the jersey.
Yeah. So here's a question for you though. Like, let's say it's 150 people on the team, and you've only got 75 of them who are coming out and racing regularly. How are those other 75 people affecting you? Truly, other than you see them wearing your kit.
Yeah,
just the disappointment, right? Just the disappointment of going to a race and not.
Yeah, but you have the other 75, so just pretend like that other 75, that's your team, and like those other ones, they're not hurting you, and just look at them as an opportunity. You've got 1 foot in the door. What can you do to take it from 75 to 80, from 80 to 100? You're never going to get full buy-in, and you also have to remember too, like maybe of those 75 people that you don't see, it's because they don't race on the road. They're at cyclocross and they don't see you at cyclocross, so they think you don't exist. So, I mean, there is that component too.
Well, I agree with that. That's true. I don't think it's 75-75. I think it's more like,
well, whatever it is. We don't. But again, you've got warm leads. So that's the easiest place to make a sale is that warm lead. So you and I talked about like how can we incentivize that? How can we get those people to come out that are able, that are willing, and that are on a team? Like, what do we do to get them to come out? Well, that's on us. And you and I talked about some things that we have up our sleeve. I don't want to disclose those things just yet, but we do have ideas. We do have plans. And I think it's just a matter of like, all right, what can we do to get people like stoked to come out and do more bike racing stuff? I
think it's not the sort of people hanging on thing that bugs me. I think it's more that the ones that do race, I want to make their experience of being on a bike racing team as good as it can be. I want some cohesion. I want some
like team planning,
direction. Like
all the things.
I want them and I want us to have a great racing experience. Yeah. And part of that is having more people actively participate. Yeah.
Well, to make that happen, you need good leadership, and the team right now, their leadership sucks. So let's just call it what it is.
I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, your executive director hasn't been executively directing. I have been dealing with a lot of stuff in my life. It doesn't help that for over a year now, I've been averaging about 70 hours a week work. That's my own doing, and I made a commitment to something that I thought was going to be, I don't know, not going to ask that much of me. I thought I was going to have some downtime, but it's not bad things that are happening. It's just like, oh, now I got to do this, and now I got to do this, and like, oh crap, those things that I just did, I'm going to go do the next thing, but those things that I just did, those are actually working better than I thought they would, and I'm having to do this now. So it's just that's kind of how it is, and so that's that. And then I've got kids that are needing me to go all over the country now. I've got a son that I've had to take to multiple states to go look at universities because he's worked his butt off and he's created opportunities for himself, and he's going to get to have a fantastic college experience. I've got another kid that's on the other side of the country that takes 12 to 13 hours to get to see. Damn it. That's so freaking hard. Don't let your kids go to school in the middle of Pennsylvania. Damn it. And then I've got health things. I am currently dealing with 3 separate things. It's like, oh my, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. And sometimes you just have to make a decision as to like, all right, I need to pare down and I need to focus on the big things. Because if you think of like a jar, right? If you think of like a big jar, like you get yourself a big mason jar, and you've got the big things in your life are like ping pong balls, right? And then you've got all the small things that are sand. If you put all of the sand in the jar first, you're not going to fit your ping pong balls in there.
Right.
But if you put all the ping pong balls in there first and then pour all the sand, amazingly, they all fit together. I've got to focus on those big things right now. And unfortunately, that's been eating up a lot of my time. And I've had
you
to
have big balls.
It
really comes down to that, Jake. You got big balls.
Oh, anyway. So anyway,
but really, it shouldn't. At this point, I feel like I keep referring to us, but I think it's relevant to all the teams, right? Yeah. That's the topic of the discussion. At some point, when you've got a big team like Dialed, and you've got all this other stuff going on. It shouldn't all be on your shoulders anyway.
Yeah,
right?
but
delegating.
Yeah, exactly. And we have done that, and we've talked about that.
Which is why you're in charge of all the races.
It's already,
you might need to
I'm
delegate
doing my
too.
part.
You might need to delegate too because you've got a lot on your shoulders.
It's already hard enough to get people to come out and race, and the people that kind of rise up above that, that kind of take that little bit of a natural leadership role, they've got full busy lives as well, and they're driving all over the freaking country doing crazy stuff. And
I'm not busy. I just race every single weekend.
Do you need me to be in Arizona? Okay. I can be there.
Yeah.
See, I gotta go, guys.
We've got fantastic people on the team, and if it's any consolation to you, I have finally I'm cresting the peak of this, and I'm hoping to have a lot of things kind of come back into play. I've got appointments with people to see things, and one of my ailments is starting to feel a little bit better, and the other one's just going to be what it's going to be. And I've got an appointment for just like all the things are happening. Like the new lab space is just about done. I think we're getting ready to paint. They've finished all the drywall texturing. We're going to paint, and then we're going to do the floors, and then we get to move in. So we're almost there with that. I've spent so much time on our website, and there's still a lot more work to do there. But I'm finally like cresting the mountain on that, and the travel stuff is going to kind of calm down here a little. Well, my youngest now, I have to go to North Carolina for a freaking soccer tournament because that's what they do. But hopefully things start to kind of come into clear focus, and then I can come back and not be one of those with the 75 warm bodies. I don't want to be out there racing with you guys, and it kills me to sit here and watch everybody go out and have fun and not be a part of that, knowing that I can barely keep my head above water with all the big things that I got going in my life. But anyway,
but you see this pattern in all of the teams, these local teams.
Yeah.
The team starts off with a
big,
lots of ambitions, and everybody's there, and it's a big new thing. And then after a few years, it fades away, and I've seen it happen not just with us, but with other teams as well.
I wouldn't say that we faded away. We just lost. We just kind of hung out at a cruising altitude, maybe came down a little bit, but we are going to ascend back up, and I would never let it like crash.
Yeah,
but also, I mean, there's also that there's almost a trajectory within road racing in general that like since COVID happened, there's been a lull.
Yeah. Well, that's the beautiful thing about our team, though, is we've got a lot of active racers that are doing mountain, gravel, and cyclocross. So yeah,
that's true.
But we've got fun things planned, and I'm already I've got a bunch of things mapped out. I'm working on them. I could show you behind the scenes stuff. I promise it's happening. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Well, we're gonna have fun this year, but we're gonna have a lot of fun next year. You want to know what's cool about that? It's our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, really?
So it'll be our
wow,
that's crazy.
Yep. So I do want to kind of see how special we can make that and change up a few things and have fun with it. But I think the state of our team is going to be great. And, I think that us kind of pushing a little bit harder, we can maybe like reach out to some other teams and see what we can do to encourage them. Or if they listen to this, maybe they can like get encouraged to do the fun things and, go out there and have fun, race your bike.
And put on races going back to that grassroots thing as a team. I think everybody that participates should also be contributing.
Yeah, there's some great places or great races that should come back, like Montanore. Or is it Montanore or Montanore?
I think they had Montanore. I think there was an issue with the course out there. Like they've made some housing developments or something.
That's a bummer because that course
it's either that or it's permits or the winery doesn't like it anymore. I can't remember. There was a good reason why Montanore kind of went away.
Okay.
But there was Kings Valley. There was all kinds of things going on.
The piece of cake was pretty fun, even though it was flat, but it was still fun. Even like Dirty Circles, as flat and boring as it was, for an early season race to kind of go out there and get yourself like tuned up, that was fun. The 3-race series, would love to have that come back. There's a lot of races that could and should come back, and it's just it does kind of suck because municipalities are not making it any easier for us to put on bike races. But I bet you if you reached out to a little town or smaller town, they would love to have some people come into town and make something happen there.
It's really not. I make a big deal of it sometimes, but it's not that bad. And especially if you split the responsibilities up between people. Sure. Like somebody gets the permits, somebody deals with the OBRA thing, somebody deals with registration, somebody deals with promotion. If you split it into manageable chunks, it's not bad, and it's rarely it's really a full-on financial risk. I think with Barton Park, I've proven that you can actually make a little bit of money on the side from it. It's not hugely profitable, but
there are small towns out there, though, like I said, that want you to come in. This just sparked a memory. I saw a post that the city of Camas put out, and it was something to do with it's like a stipend or a fund or something that they have that's built into their budget. And I think that they get it through some grant or whatnot, and you can apply to it, and I think it falls under something to do with lodging, but the premise behind it is they want you to put on an event. You can apply for it. You can get some supplemental funding for your event, ultimately with the goal of like attracting people into the town to shop at the town, to, go to restaurants, to go, stay at hotels and stuff like that. That might be worth looking into, because we've flirted with that idea a few times about doing something here in Camas. I have actually physically talked to the city. It's been a few years now. It's probably been like 5 years. They're interested in it. The only thing that they did say is that they really don't want to shut downtown down any more than they already have. So I would have to, depending upon the time of the year, it would have to be like earlier or later in the year to use downtown, or have to think about something that didn't require that shutting downtown down, but it could still be like factored into like maybe the start finish kind of thing. So
yeah,
I mean, would they let us race around the lake? That's a cool little 9 mile lap that you could make work and have fun. It's got a climb in it. It's got some beautiful scenery. I don't know. So anyway, little things like that. Think outside of the box. Look at where you live. Obviously, if you're going to go into like Vancouver or into Portland or some bigger municipality, they're going to make it extremely difficult for you, make it cost prohibitive. Yep. But somewhere small might be, hey, we want you out here. Let us actually give you money to make that happen. Could be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else that you guys want to share or talk about with respect to the team? Teams in general?
Can you make an announcement regarding the team kit for this year?
Oh yeah, we've moved on to a new thing. As a matter of fact, she just got back to me. We're just about done. It should open very soon. We're changing vendors. We're going with a new company called Jackaroo, and I'm pretty stoked on it because they're actually going to have our store open. They've got this thing where you take a picture. They've got AI that helps you with the sizing, and they get the sizing right. And they're so confident that it's going to work for you that when it shows up, and if it doesn't fit you right, they will send you the proper kit. And the store will be open for whatever period of time. And then when it closes out, instead of us waiting for what was said to be 6 weeks, usually is more like 8 to 10 weeks. They get it back to us in 3 weeks, and they own their own factory. Everything comes direct to you. You don't have to do the whole group ship thing. Nice. The store will stay open year round. That is such a big, like that's a big weight off my shoulders, because you can order whatever you want, whenever you want. Now, you will pay a touch more because you're just doing a one-off. When we do the group buys, you do get a discounted rate. It's not like a massive discount, but it's it's decent enough. So you get the bulk of the stuff they need, but like, you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I want another set of bibs, or I want like some arm warmers or whatever. You can go order that anytime, and they'll just ship it to you. So that store will first open in a couple of weeks? Or I was hoping to have it open up about a week ago, but it's just, life happens. So it took her a minute to get back to me, and then it took me a minute to get back to her, and we've just trying to get everything coordinated. She's got all of the artwork. Everything's uploaded. I think she's just waiting for approval to make the store live, I guess. Cool. Good deal. Yeah. And then any other group buys going on? We've had helmets in the past and stuff like that. We're supposed to be doing something with Cask. They're out of stock on a lot of stuff right now, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. I don't know if they're having some supply chain issues or what, but hopefully they'll have it back, because we're actually starting to get low on stuff there. But Lake Shoes, Factor Bikes has already given us the go-ahead to do another bike thing with them. I think it was going to be Scratch Labs and Silka. I don't know. There's like 4 or 5 different things that we're going to put out there. So, and there'll be significant team discounts. So, nice. Yeah. Cool. Right on. It might be good for people to kind of get ready for summer riding too. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. So anyway, that's kind of the latest and greatest, and just patiently waiting for the lab space to be open so that we can have an extra, was it 2,400? No, geez. I don't know. We're going from 1,500 square feet to 3,600 square feet. So it's going to be pretty significant, more than double. So will that be both spaces, or would you moving everything over to the new space? It's the new space plus our current space. Oh, wow. So there's something I haven't really talked about, and I'll get into this another time, but there's going to be something in there that we're going to have to benefit the team as well. So that should be kind of fun. So cool. And then we'll have our own little studio space in there too. A little 300 square foot studio for doing podcasty things and making videos and hanging out. So cool. I like it. All right. I'm going to shut up now. Perfect. Let's do one last thing. LeGrand, hit us up. Right before coming over to the podcast, I posted a video about an electric bike
called the Velotric Tempo, and it's a lightweight e-bike. Go check out the video, sponsored video. So I appreciate you guys watching it, even if you're looking for watches.
1.3 million views already.
It's got 52 views in the past hour.
52 million views. That's a lot.
Yeah, 52 mil.
Sweet.
And it'll get some people clicking on it, maybe. But yeah, it's a sponsored video. Excited about that. Fun stuff. Yeah. And then we'll get back to the watch game.
Sweet. Give up one last thing.
This weekend, I'm probably going to go back to jolly old England for a few days, and then I have plans. If the weather's looking good, I'm going to fly out to Calpe in Spain.
Nice.
Do some riding. We'll see.
Dodgy wankers.
But the big thing I wanted to talk about, or not talk about, we'll get another chance. It's not until May 9th is my Barton Park road race. So it's going to be great this year. It's going to happen on Saturday, May the 9th, Barton Park near Estacada. Challenging, I think it's a 9-mile loop out there. Got a feature called the Eden Wall.
That's a good one.
2-minute hard effort climb with the finish line not far from the top. Yeah, I hope it's going to be a success. The event webpage should be at this point now connected to the Ober calendar, so you should be able to find it on Ober and click on the event page and get all the details. Registration is also open at this point.
Yep. How much is registration?
It's $50.
Gotcha.
25 for juniors. And
so
I'm also looking, of course, for volunteers. So I'll put that out on our Slack channel soon as well. But there's a link in there if you want to sign up. Drivers in particular. I'm looking for 9 drivers.
Gotcha. So if you pay, it's $50 for that. So I guess I heard that if you sign up for a coaching program, that it goes from $50 down to like $45.99 or something like that for the race.
If you sign up for 3 months of coaching, I'll throw in a free entry to Barton Park.
Hey, there you go. That's a pretty good deal, actually.
What a deal.
Cool. Yep.
That's it.
This weekend is the Madras mountain bike race out in Central Oregon. So that is one of Scott Schultz's race. It's part of a different series this year. So this year there's 2 separate mountain bike series on the Ober calendar. There's the Oregon XC series, and then there's the PNW XC series. So 2 different series happening. And this Madras race is part of the PNW series. It's only a 3-race series, a race in Oregon, a race in Idaho, and a race in Washington. So Scott Schultz is doing something a little bit different this year. So
cool.
So hopefully I will get to go to do that race.
I'm not sure. Maybe you take a down weekend.
Or maybe I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go or not. The weekend after that is Sasquatch Duro Gravel Race. It's in the Portland area as well. That's one of Mike Ripley's races out by Yamhill, Carlton area. Okay. So racing's happening still every weekend.
The weekend after that is Banana Belt.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. That would be a popular race.
And Mudslinger.
Dude,
Ripley's other mountain bike race.
What are you going to do?
No, probably do both of them like an idiot.
Good.
We should do Banana Belt. We'll get to race together in that.
Oh, yes.
Cool.
Jake.
What?
One last thing.
Oh, my one last thing. This weekend will be a full, busy, electrifying weekend of putting the Happy back into Fat and Happy. All right, let's go, guys. Let's get this weekend on. Hey, thank you for listening. We will be back one of these days with another one of these. Until then, bye for now.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.